learning to recycle our household plastics. However, there is still too much plastic ending up in landfills. Agricultural plastics contribute a significant amount to this waste. By taking care to recycle, the agricultural community can make a big difference and a positive impact on the environment. Most importantly, plastics must not be burned. Burning plastic produces toxins that are harmful to our health, pollute our air, land, and water, and ultimately end up in the food chain. It is important to clean, sort, and prepare your agricultural plastics properly for the recycling process.
So this is an ag plastic collection and recycling program in the Regional District Okanagan-Similkameen. This is one of the collection sites, which happens to be at a landfill. When growers are bringing in their ag plastics, they're supposed to be sorting those plastics by product and putting them in certain categories. As you can see over here, we have the twine. So the grower placed his twine in the correct category, and it helps us for when we're loading it to send it to the recycling depot. It saves a lot of time because now we don't have to sort it.
Most growers will have drip or trickle irrigation in their blocks. But when it comes to this tubing, the black tubing, there is a market for it, but now the preferred method of handling this particular material is to have it chopped up into pieces and bagged. It's very important that growers don't burn this material because of the toxic smoke. It's a telltale sign. If you see a pruning fire and there's a lot of black acrid smoke, someone is obviously burning something that they shouldn't be and could be subject to fines. And that's the other side of this equation, is that there are regulatory issues around burning of certain materials in the fire. So it's very important that you practice common sense, and common sense is the word of the day, and that you properly recycle all that should be recycled, and perhaps even reuse.
So what we had in this field last year was tomatoes, and they were all staked, and the tomato plants were all like 7 feet high. And so we had pulled all the stakes out, removed all the plants, pulled up all the plastic mulch, pulled up all the T-tape, ridded the field of any plastic residue in the field.
A grower has brought in his irrigation tubing T-tape under his ground cover, and he's separated the T-tape from the ground cover, which he's supposed to do, and they've tied their bag shut. So this bag it's easy to send this off to the processor. The processor can process it right away. Once we get all our plastics sorted correctly and there's no contamination in the bags, there's an opportunity for the program to get return funds from this recycled plastic, which will help offset our cost to ship it out.
Just want to show you a little bit of the agricultural plastics that we use in the nursery setting. The one I have in my hand here is a black and white. It's basically a silage poly. We use it here at the nursery for a couple of purposes. On the other hand, this is your normal clear plastic growing poly, and we have approximately 105 greenhouses here at the nursery. There'll be a double layer of poly on each one of those houses, and the two pieces of poly are inflated to add a little bit of insulation value, and that needs to be replaced almost annually in this climate because we get very intense heat buildups during the hot summer months. So here we are in front of the K&C Silviculture baler. This is a baler that we leased about 3 years ago. We've been using it now for that length of time. So once the waste material has gone through the baler, we end up with a bale that looks like this. The dimensions on them are approximately 60 inches by 55 inches and 36 inches. This is poly that we've baled. What you can see here is both a good job and a poor job having been done on the bales. This is a bale which is entirely clear poly. This is the way the recycler likes to get his product. Sorted here at the nursery and all one product in a bale. The bale above here you can see has been baled with various colors of poly. That's a little bit problematic for the recycler. It's a less value product, and if we're trying to work with them and extract the best value, it's incumbent on us to make sure we sort well at this point.
Some growers have the woven tote bags on their farm. They're welcome to use those to fill, but again, they're reminded to make sure that they sort their bags correctly. Right now, the RDOS program is using clear film, 3mm heavy plastic bags for collection. But again, using the tote bags, woven tote bags is okay if you have them.
Art Naps is a fairly large garden center, so we go through a lot of plastic. And what we've started to do is recycle. And what our recycling program is we separate each plastic tray by color and by the type of plastic that it is. So we're separating the black plastic from the white plastic, and the really rigid plastic. Some plastic is softer than others, so the softer plastic from, say, the rigid plastic. And when we sort, we also have to make sure that we remove all the tags. So these don't go into the recycling, these go into the garbage. And we always try to make sure that the trays are very clean. So we just bang them out, make sure the soil and the garbage comes out.
And before we start cutting down all the trees, we take all this plastic pipe and sprinkler heads and salvage it. And sometimes we'll sell it or we'll keep it for ourselves, vice versa.
Yeah, I guess one more aspect of removing particularly a high density block, if you have slender spindle, you're going to have a lot of plastic or vinyl ties that hold the tree to the post. It's really important that those be collected and separated and recycled as plastics, because the last thing you want to do is mulch plastics in the soil. We all know how long plastics survive even when buried. Simply the story of the landfill tells us that.
The Agriculture Plastic Recycling Program does not accept household siding. This is vinyl, and therefore should be going into the garbage. Also, the agriculture plastic, everything coming into the program must be agricultural plastics and must be sorted correctly, bagged, and not sent in loose and just laying in the collection area.
So we started our recycling program because we wanted to keep all the plastic from going into the landfill, because it is recyclable and it can be melted down and reused. So we've actually saved money by not having to haul the plastic to the dump. And our hope is that now that we're starting to get a proper program in place, and by sorting everything properly and really fine-tuning how we sort, that we'll actually see a return down the road, and it'll make it worth all the time and the effort that we spend sorting. So it is very important to make sure that it's sorted properly so that we can see the profit done in the end.
Different types of agriculture will have different types of plastic to recycle. Here are some guidelines for preparing all types of agricultural plastic for recycling. Clean, dry, and sort into types of plastic. Bale or bag each type of plastic separately. Deliver recyclable plastics to the collection site, or larger commercial operations can contact a plastic processor directly for pickup. Keep the agricultural plastic collection site sorted and free of garbage. Chemical containers and bags require special consideration, as they can be hazardous to those handling them. They should be cleaned well and returned to the dealer, or recycled if accepted in your area. If there is not an agricultural plastics recycling program in your area, it's a good idea to get involved and encourage your local government to set up a collection program.